Viva! Viva Swapo, viva! Viva MPLA, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Viva CCM, viva! Viva Frelimo, viva! Comrade Lee Minky, the Vice Minister, IDCPC, my brother ndugu yangu Comrade Mringi Mata, Deputy Secretary General of CCM, Comrade Her Excellency Ambassador Che Ming, our great ambassador of China to Tanzania, ambassadors from liberation movements who are here with us. But I'm proud to say I've seen my friend, my brother, former Secretary General Mkama, who taught me itikadi ya Chama cha Mapinduzi, Comrade Marcelina Chijoliga, our great principal, our lovely friend, Comrade Andy Lelungisa, head of delegation from ANC, Comrade Eugenio Obise from Frelimo, Comrade Joao Diogo Gaspar for MPLA, my brother, Comrade Adna Shikombo, head of delegation from SWAPO, and Comrade Douglas Mombeshola, head of delegation from Zambia. Fellow colleagues and friends, first of all, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity which we have been given to be participant in this event. And I like to confirm to you, guests of honor, that we are all in good health and we've been enjoying life. But the second opportunity, I'd like to thank very much my brothers and sisters from ZANU-PF for giving me a new name, Mtumba, which means, so, guest of honor, if I'm sent to Zimbabwe, make sure you know that I'm in good hands. But I would like to thank all others for the great participation of all together. Honorable guest of honor, the Mwalimu Julius Nyerere Leadership School was jointly established by the former Liberation Southern Africa movement. All the party participated are part of that initiative, with an exception of UNIP from Zambia, which they went on delay and they lost. For me, I would like to thank the management of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere for fulfilling what has been said by Her Excellency President, the Chair and Chair of CCM, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, when she said, I quote, Mwalimu Nyerere made a significant contribution to the liberation movement of Africa. Giving this college its name is absolutely right. He deserves the honor. I have a great faith that the staff and students of the college will embrace the philosophy and all good things of the Father of the Nation. And to confirm, we have witnessed the good work Professor Tijoliga and the team they've been doing to us, and we thank you very much. And on behalf of the team, if there's anything we've done wrong, we kindly apologize. Take all the dirty things to me, the good things to them, please. Hello, guest of honor. The greatness of a man is not how much wealth he acquires, but it's how integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. The invitation to attend this has been very privileged to all of us. Hence, we thank the Communist Party of China, CPC, and the organizer Chama cha Mapinduzi for this wonderful opportunity given to all of us. And we promise we'll make use of this training fully when we go back to our countries. We promise we'll improve our ability and integrity to bring impact to our community. Honorable guest of honor, Let me give you a little bit of a recap of what we've got on these studies. Before I do that, let me give the history a little bit. You'll bear with me. The former liberation movement of Southern Africa, being part of seven, will never have been successful without the help of CPC. So all thanks to CPC for helping us to move out of the challenges. The presentations. We will start with the presentation received from His Excellency letter, which was sent to us. We are so privileged to receive a letter from His Excellency President Jinping. From the letter, I would like to quote his good words. He said, the realization of the national development and national rejuvenation of people's happiness requires continuous effort for generations. Building better world requires exchange and mutual learning among countries. Out of this court, we believe African countries should start putting development of which emphasis should be on people's happiness, meaning people-centered development, and encourage rejuvenation of hard-working lifestyle, which you have seen from the China side, that it's not about money, it's about working hard. His Excellency President Xi also said, China and Africa belong to a community with shared future that shares a will and war. Hope of a long-term friendship between Chinese and African people rests in the younger generation. So what we've seen from this presentation, the median age which you have seen of the population age is between, for Africa, is 18 and 20 years. If this age remains unaddressed, we're actually building our own atomic bomb. Hence, it's clear African countries should start continue building young ones and manage the continent now and the future. If we don't do it, we are perishing our own practice. All participants have thanked His Excellency President Xi Jinping and the whole CPC party for the great support given to all participants. On behalf of all, I would like to thank the People's Republic of China for this positive gesture towards sponsoring this workshop. And on this note, I would like to thank Chama cha Mapinduzi for organizing well the logistics. Most of all, the management of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere Leadership School. Honorable guest of honor, we are privileged to receive keynote address from the guest of honor, Comrade Daniel Chongoro. Ndugu Macha, please pass our thanks to Daniel Chongoro, who emphasized and insisted on unity and partnership of all liberation movements. But we also had privilege, a unique one, to receive the address from the Minister of CPC, Comrade Liu Jiakao, who gave us a great overview of the 6+ partnership, which is a partnership between 6 Liberation Party of CPC, and the key takeout out of that Liberation Movement Party should learn from the Chinese is socialist movement, and they should learn the socialist movement and create their own through their own local characteristics. We also had the privilege to learn from our brothers and sisters from Uganda through NLM, which was a video conference, who have showed positive interest in joining this initiative. And all the 6 parties have said they're most welcome. Liberation is for everybody. We can't put somebody away who is interested to join us. So if there's a possibility of Uganda coming in, we'll appreciate to add more. And you can see the seats behind us empty. They need more people. There was a theme titled Chinese Modernization Content and Its Meaning to the presented by the Chinese name are difficult to pronounce, so you may bear with me. Mr. Zhang, the Deputy Dean of Marxism School Renmin University in China, and also we received Chinese modernization, prosperity, and high quality development. All this gave a clear path of how China succeeded in modernizing their own CPC party in the country too. The great lesson of this achievement of the Communist Socialist Party is the hardworking, courageous, and courageous Chinese and high quality leadership, which brings great growth, great development, and great governance. It's time for us, liberation movement, should start learning and adapt using our own characteristics. Your Excellencies, guests of honor, the experience and practice of CPC in advancing party building from perspective of full rigorous and governance of the party, which was done by Professor Zeng, Deputy Director of the Comparative Political Parties of the party, gave us a very good critical learning how we should build our own party. And the main to this topic was coherence between parties and the parties of the government. And we have learned that also land ownership is so critical that the Chinese people were given opportunity to own a house, to own a forest, and to own a farmland, which we need to copy it in our own characteristics in our time. But so one of the most important items, the CPC emphasized on people-centered philosophy, maintaining self-confidence, and hold fundamental principles to break new grounds, at the same time adopt problem-oriented proprietary system of thinking at the global perspective. The China-Africa Cooperation, which was very good, was given by Kai Fang. I don't know if it's Kai Fang or Kai Fang, the beauty president of Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. The key take here is innovative development, coordinative development, green development, open development, sharing development, pursue development, and safeguard security together. China has managed to remove poverty to zero. From 2012 to 2020, over 100 people have been moved out of poverty. This is a great opportunity for African countries today. And there was a training on leadership between China and Africa, which is started on the Silk Road business, all of it to the generation. But in this, we're adding the support we got. The principle, the history of liberation struggle in Southern African countries, which was presented by Professor Kabudi, was overwhelming and exciting, especially when he said the contemporary African leader like Mugabe, Nelson Mandela, Yoweri Museveni would have not been here if it wasn't for sacrifice. I'll keep my time. The workshop reminds us who are we, that the liberation movement we stand, what do we stand, which is ideology and principle. Mostly, liberation struggle, self-reliance, and economic development are key to what we need to take out from this study. Last, we must know that we want to achieve mostly industrialized self-sustainable economies. The greatest of all is mental liberation, which is more important before the enemy is visible, before our enemy strikes us. The key to this was the praxis. Theory informed practice, and practice enriched theory. In the end, theory improves practice, otherwise it improves direction. That's what Professor Kabudi told us. We should emulate China progress by having united, industrialized Africa through discipline and frugality. Areas of improvement African countries have taken out is energy, telecommunication, infrastructure, science and technology, skilled and disciplined workforce, patriot, and mature citizen. Honorable guest of honor. Before I conclude, I would like to give you the common challenges of the liberation movement we are facing today. And this is very important in planning for the future. The first one is finance. Most of the parties are not struggling with the fund. They have been depending on members' contribution, In addressing this, we need to find a way in between how we can help each other in formulating investment projects which the parties would own and give them sustainability rather than being beggars of their own. The second one is leadership. Liberation movement parties have been facing challenge of some of the leaders who have been reducing the effort of growth by doing misconduct activities. But I'd like to confirm that most parties have been addressing this on the spot to avoid continuity of this character. But the training is very important for youngsters and the leaders for them to understand what others have reached and how they've reached where they are. The third is opposition. The Liberation Movement Party facing critical opposition into their own countries. For this, we would like to confirm to you that we are geared to unite ourselves and help each other in winning the election. If we don't win the election, you won't have Liberation Movement parties to participate. And as of now, we have election ahead of us. We have Zimbabwe. We propose all the Liberation Party movement to focus on Zimbabwe and try to help them to win the election. ANC is next year, and CCM is the 2025. SWAP also is part next year. So we should all put our plans in such a way, help each other, and win this election. There are some inter-party friction rivalries, but these are so small they are addressed. But we're also facing external influence and challenges and regional disparities. But to confirm with this, things are moving so well. We also had a presentation of Simba Kalia, guest of honor. This lecturer, he cried on this podium when he was remembering the struggle. We didn't know, we came to realize he was a part of the military which went to Mozambique as well as Zimbabwe to make to create what Zimbabwe is enjoying and Mozambique is enjoying today. It was very emotional presentation. But we learned a lot that globalization cannot change us from our cause of life. So we would like also to thank. But also we enjoyed the Tibadong visit, which was very unique, the crowd visit. And I was very overwhelmed, and I think the most of the group was, that before the presentation, everybody expected that there was a lot of money sent to this village for investment. But after the presentation, we realized there was no single cent came from the central government or even the local government. It was people themselves who have turned themselves from the poor to the become sustainable. We now like to propose what we call future relationship. One, we propose in developing better future, in developing future relationship between China and the liberation movement country as well as Africa. We should continue building fair ground with mutual trust and coordinated win-win situation. Let us make this relationship being a gain for both sides. Two, there should be a comprehensive effort to emulate the Chinese zero poverty success in incorporating our own characteristics with our cultural aspect. Three, there should be a bureau office of which will be responsible for coordinating the liberation movement activities, which include Mwalimu Nyerere College, existing historical sites, monitor and evaluate all the program, as well as member party performance. Due to existence of Mwalimu Leadership College here, the proposal was this bureau office can also be allocated on the same spot where the college is. Four, we propose future projects should focus on interconnecting Africa with emphasis on liberation movement. We know the BRI is doing good, but we need to do it more. Whatever project is done has to focus on interconnection rather than a single country based. We'd like to see if we are doing a train in one country, we should see how this train can work all the way to other countries. Now, Angola is doing the pipeline. And we know that through that pipeline, if it reaches Zambia, there's a Tanzania-Zambia pipeline also can be connected to this pipeline, and we can continue that partnership so that we can have oil from Angola being distributed in other African countries. The critical tool was the language. Language has been a critical challenge. We are all using colonial language, which is quite sad. So there was a proposal to start Kiswahili as our own independence and as our own revolution, as our own liberation. So the proposal was, as little as we can, in any program which we come for training, should incorporate the training of Kiswahili to other members of the Liberation Movement Party. Let me finalize by recommending others. First, we must have and develop long-term poverty reduction strategy, emulating the China's success. We must build our own infrastructure. We must encourage entrepreneurship. Through using China economic growth, we can use that spirit to all our African countries. We must promote education, invest in education in order to reduce poverty. We must strengthen agricultural development. It's also proposed that BRI initiative should focus on developing projects which are interconnected, as I've said. We'll achieve this liberation movement together, and we must make sure we are in power. That's the critical. If for this success, Liberation Movement Party have to continue running. CCM has to continue running Tanzania for the rest of the time, as CPC does. MPLA, ANC, ZANU-PF, SWAPO, FRELIMO. This is the key takeout. And we must support each other during elections campaign, during political programs, during research and development. Finally, Liberation Movement Party, they must emancipate themselves from mental slavery. Let me quote Bob Marley. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. We have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophet while we stand aside and look? Ooh. Some say just for a bit, we just need to fulfill the book. It's redemption strong. None of us can free our minds. We must fight. Before I conclude my speech, let me take this opportunity. I forgot to recognize my greatest friend and my former boss, the regional commissioner from the Coast region, has joined us. Asante sana mkuu wa mkoa. And to finalize it, Professor Chijoriga, this training has united. We have 2 Tanzanians who have shifted to SWAPO, and we have 2 South Africans who have shifted to Tanzania, and we have 2 Tanzanians who have shifted to Zimbabwe. And above all, we have 2 Tanzanians who have just joined FRELIMO. We don't know why. So without saying that, I'd like to thank you. Our greatest motto should be socialism and self-reliance, renew our zeal, solidarity for good times. Thank you very much for listening. Amandra! Amandra! Asanteni kwa kunisikiliza. Mungu awabariki.